Welcome to the fall garden, a great time to divide perennials. This is a time when you can give and share your perennials with others or just move them to other parts of the garden where they can have room. Today we're going to be looking at my mountain mint, which has grown out of its area here. So I'd like to split it up and move it a little bit farther in the garden and have it in a couple other places. What's nice about these mints, unlike the one that you can put in your iced tea, these are great pollinator plants, and there's lots of bees on the two different varieties that I have. This is almost finished its bloom, so there's not a lot of bees left. But this one is blooming in full bloom right now. So we have Pycnanthemum incana, and we have Pycnanthemum muticum, the one that the honeybees are loving. It's been a dry fall, so we want to make sure that we water our perennials in before we rip out their root systems. Even if you're being careful doing it, you want to give it the best of all worlds as you do that. So I am going to take this plant, which is really quite large, and today we are going to dig it up and we're going to divide it. So we're talking about an area that's probably about 16 inches in diameter. I'm giving it a nice soak. And it's more important that what you're going to dig out gets that good soak. Where it's going to, you could soak it after it's planted. So now we've given it this nice, gentle, as if it were rain that we desperately need, soak, and it's ready to go. Then you want to have a sharp spade. This is my favorite spade. I've had it since 1986 when I bought my first home. To have it sharp, you want to use a whetstone, W-H-E-T, on a 35-degree angle, and you want to sharpen that tip. I've spent some time doing that before, so I don't have to bore you with that this afternoon. Then let's get to the task at hand. So I want to go out from the perennial as much as I possibly can, and I'm going to be digging in, and we're going to find rocks because we are in never sink, and I'm going to dig around, and I'm going to be looking at where I'm going because I don't want to dig too far out. I want to be able to handle taking the ball of this plant out myself. So I'm digging in as far as I can, and then I am pushing it up and out, and I'm going all the way around, ring around the rosy. And you can see that it's really loose now. And we're almost there, folks. We are there. And so here we've got it. We're going to lay it on its side. Easiest way to do this. And we're going to stick our spade through. I like to do in 4 different places, but I want to see what's happening. Oh, hold on. A great root system. It's woody on the bottom. And here we have it. And now we have it in 2. Don't be afraid to do this. You are actually not harming this plant. When you dig and divide and replant, you're actually invigorating it, reinvigorating it at the same time. So now, again, come on. It's always the hardest one. Let's try this one with the rock in the way. Okay, we have the pieces we need there. And since this one's being so difficult, I'm going to use some Felco shears and just try to cut through it. And now we have a couple pieces. I like where it is, so I'm going to put some of it back in here, but I'm not going to put them together as if they're buddies. I'm going to put them a little bit farther apart where I have room in the garden now and give it some space. So I want to dig down deep as I can. Since it has such a vigorous root system, it can handle this type of soil. And then I want to place it back. Now, if you have some compost, this would be a good time to add some finished compost to the pile. We do use shredded leaves and cover all of our beds after we've cleaned up late spring. And so that is all actually broken down, and we really have some nice tillable soil in here now. So all I'm doing is holding the crown of the plant so I can, with my fingertips, see where the top of the crown is, which is the growing point here, and I'm getting the soil all around, tucking it in nice and tight. I'm going to leave a little saucer around so that when I water, the water doesn't run away. The water will stay here. And the other thing that you can do is you can cut this plant in half. Now to get a frost soon, and it wouldn't bother this plant for it not to have to worry, since the pollinators are off it now, not have to worry about producing anymore. It's not about shoot growth or top growth in the fall. It's about, it's not about shoot, it is about root, and all these roots will grow. But, as I mentioned, it's dry. So you're going to have to make sure that you keep this watered because you have some tender roots that you dug up, divided, and replanted. So I'm making sure that everything's in. I'm making sure I have my little moat here for the water to settle in, and we're good there. I could cut it back first and do this, but I like to use it because it has a long handle, and then I can cut it afterwards. Everybody has their own way. Now you can continue to dig and divide because our soil doesn't freeze until December. So we have root growth, even though there's no shoot growth. They're going to go over here to a new home so that I can have mint on both ends of the garden and lots of pollinators in my garden. And this is a nice deep hole. And here, I might as well put it right in. It's happy, not too deep. Cut it back, because with the first good shower, it's going to fall over anyway. That's all there is to it. Nice bouquet for someone you love. And because this is such wonderful soil, I could go right in here with my hands even and put the last one in. So these are about a foot apart here. And everything needs to get a good watering because you can see it's as dry as a prairie during a drought. Okay. And that is dividing perennials. Don't forget, we're going to water deep, and we're going to water it once a week, deeply. And I would say you may want to put a tag that says mountain mint, Pycnanthemum, icanum, or muticum, whatever one you may have. Put your tags out there, because when everything comes up in early spring, sometimes it all looks the same. You say, what is that? I don't remember something being there. Well, that's because you moved it. So enjoy dividing perennials. Remember, sharp spade, water deeply before. Don't be afraid to divide. Water deeply afterwards, and then once a week. Well, probably until you get a really hard frost. Have fun. Happy gardening.